On the 3rd of July, 2020, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The servers were put into maintenance mode. Everyone was panicking and confused about what was happening. But it turns out to be that there was a duplication glitch.
The biggest duplication glitch in Growtopia history. In this video, I will try to unveil the mystery behind the biggest duplication glitch in Growtopia, how it was performed, when it happened, and who discovered the exploit. Our story begins in 2020. A player whom I will reveal later discovered an exploit. This exploit involved the usage of challenge timers. Yes, the item that allows you to reward other players when they complete your challenge. This is a block that is rarely used by builders nowadays but prominent in worlds like parkour. From what seemed to be a block that allowed owners to reward its players, it turned into a block that allowed exploiters to reward themselves with legally obtained items. According to a certain source, the player was able to input negative integers, which later resulted in several items being duplicated. This included Raymond's Fist, Phoenix Wings, Mag Plants, Giant Heads, Blue Gem Locks, and even Curse 1 seeds. Yes, Curse 1 seeds. That's how crazy this glitch was. July 3rd. Summerfest had begun. Everyone was having a good time, gambling their Blue Gem Locks on summer surprises until something happened. At 8:30 a.m., some players noticed bulks of suspicious items being sold for insanely cheap prices. People were also dropping expensive items at random players for free. Many were panicking, confused as to what was happening, especially those who had accidentally picked up those items. Pictures were also spreading on the internet, one of which was a screenshot of a player named Life for Today collecting a questionable amount of Phoenix Wings from his donation box. This was when news started breaking out that a duplication glitch had happened. The team heard about the news, and at around 9:03 a.m., they placed the servers under maintenance. Then almost an hour later, the servers were back online. Everyone thought, oh, that's the end of it. No rollback whatsoever. It's over. But no, that wasn't the case. Things just got worse. It was 11:39 a.m., roughly 2.5 hours from when the servers went online. UbiDev, one of the developers for the game, replied under a particular thread on the forums. He claimed the issue was fixed and the related items have been already taken care of. Nothing to worry about and no rollback is coming. However, this wasn't true. This post did nothing but mislead the players. The exploit may have been patched, but the items were still out there. A lot of players were still selling these expensive items for cheap. It wasn't anywhere near over. There was miscommunication within the team, confirmed by Baskerville in a thread that was posted hours later, saying, "Unfortunately, not all information was communicated precisely and as clear as it should have been. There were some comments made that were contradicting other announcements, and we would like to apologize for this as well." Players continued to ask questions, looking for answers from the team following UbiDev's false and misleading response. Unfortunately, there was no response. The community received no response for 3 hours straight. At 2:38 p.m., a staff member finally gave an update. Lead community manager Baskerville had posted a reply saying, "Hello everyone. We've heard everyone's concerns about this issue, and we want to find a solution that has the least impact on the game and economy as soon as possible. We are currently investigating the next steps and all possibilities. Please be assured we are working on this until we find a solution. We will keep you updated here." An hour and a half later, the servers were placed into maintenance once again as to allow them to think of solutions to retrieve the duplicated items that were duplicated. And finally, at 6:35 a.m., they performed a rollback. Just 2 days after a rollback was performed due to code issues, the team decided to perform another 24-hour rollback, aka the 7th rollback. This was the first time in history that Growtopia had back-to-back rollbacks. After they had performed the rollback, 15 items were temporarily locked, including blue gem locks and diamond locks. This was highly devastating for many players because they were unable to use their saved wealth for Summerfest. In addition to that, despite the team performing the rollback, one question still remained. Did this really fix the issue? It's unfortunate to say that the answer was no. Even before the team had decided to perform a rollback, they already knew that they were too late. Before I get into the exploit's discovery date, I would like to bring up a certain duplication glitch that was discovered in 2019. A lot of items were replaced with newer versions of the items that were duplicated back then. Fortunately, there was no need for the team to perform a rollback as it was not that severe at that time. The 2019 duplication issue only ran for approximately 48 hours and only roughly 7,500 items were duplicated within that 48-hour period. However, it was a different case for the 2020 duplication glitch. This was more than just a duplication glitch. This was a disaster. In a thread by Baskerville in 2020, he says, "We found that the damage caused to the game economy might be too big, even if we remove most of the duplicated items, as a lot of them were already traded." This was indeed true, because unlike previous duplication glitches, the player had already discovered the glitch long before the 7th rollback and had been abusing it ever since. That player was Nexica. Nexica is a well-known hacker and exploiter in the community who had been involved in the discovery and abuse of several exploits in the past, one of which was when he hacked a moderator's account back in March of 2020. He shared the glitch to 2 of his friends, Bucklez and ElectroGuy, otherwise known as Dreamy. ElectroGuy, one of the people providing me all of this information for this video, was still a legal player around that time, thus she was not involved in abusing the exploit in any way. While Nexica and his friend, on the other hand, had been abusing the exploit for a long time then. It was on the 17th of May 2020 when they discovered the glitch. Yes, Nexica himself alone discovered the glitch 45 days before the rollback happened. It just so happens that he distributed the items on the 3rd of July, which ultimately caused a rollback. Roughly around 500,000 items were duplicated using this exploit. This is an unbelievable amount of items that no glitch could be compared with. ElectroGuy and Nexica showed me the following photos on your screen right now, which shows some of the items that they duplicated and its quantity. This was crazy because he was able to duplicate literally any item he wanted, regardless if it was obtainable or not. On the 7th of July, 2020, 4 days after the rollback, they locked 47 more items and unlocked diamond locks, which led to the total number of items being locked at 60. According to Nexica, he had 2 worlds that had 55,000 blue gem blocks and 22,000 respectively. While he wasn't able to remember the exact total of the blue gem blocks that he duplicated, according to him, it was roughly 100,000 blue gem blocks that were duped. That is 10 million diamond locks or 1 billion world locks. And 15,000 of those were distributed to the public before the rollback. That is 15% of the rough total estimate. It's crazy that so much was duplicated. When put into perspective, it was around 2 trillion gems worth of world locks that were duplicated. This places it on a significantly larger scale than any other duplication glitch that had occurred. But the story doesn't end there. December of 2020. A few months after the duplication glitch had been patched, it was reported that there was another duplication glitch. Luckily, there wasn't one. Many of the duplication items that were left after the cleanup had just resurfaced. Obviously, it wasn't possible for Ubisoft to track down and remove every single item which was illegally obtained in-game, so this was expected. They distributed the duplicated items once more. However, this time, they were able to get access to developer worlds. Bucklez, one of Nexica's friends, and one of the persons who knew about the exploit, did not distribute items that were from the 2020 duplication exploit, but rather from a Ubisoft testing world. On the bright side, no blue gem locks were distributed this time. In fact, Nexica's BGL stashes were nuked. This later resulted in 12 items being locked on the 15th of December 2020. This included blue gem locks once more. The investigation and cleanup process took nearly a month, and on the 14th of January 2021, all the items were finally unlocked and the investigation ended here. Nexica mentioned that all of his blue gem lock stashes were nuked and were retrieved from them. But up to this day, Nexica claims to still have some of the items from the 2020 duplication exploit, even after a year from the last cleanup. That means more can potentially happen in the future. But when? Only time will tell. Who would have thought that someone would actually be able to duplicate items of such vast amounts? It is crazy that challenge timers, an insignificant item overlooked by many, could have been weaponized to cause massive chaos in-game. You know what else may cause massive chaos? When I find out that you are still not subscribed to me. Subscribe now.